Hi, everyone. This is what I hope will be the first of a number of videos, short videos, that are geared especially for applicants for dietetic internship. I'm going to start with the personal statement because that's something that I've had some questions about lately, and I'll explain why on the next slide. I'm a recently retired director of a didactic program in dietetics. I completed my undergraduate degree at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, a dietetic internship at the University of California in San Francisco, and then after working for a number of years, went back and earned an education doctorate from Pepperdine University. I spent the first 25 years of my career in practice, first as a clinical dietitian, then as a food and nutrition service manager, and finally as a WIC nutritionist before I had the opportunity to begin teaching at Cal Poly and ultimately to become the director of the didactic program in dietetics, which I did for the last 8 years. I retired in August of 2019, and in the picture, I'm the one on the right with the half gray hair, along with two of my recent graduates that are now registered dietitians at a gathering that we had at my home this past summer. I'm doing this because I hear from grads and also from others that I meet that there are often applicants who are interested in applying for dietetic internship that don't have the close access or close relationship with a DPD director for advising. And I feel so strongly about the importance and my love of the profession of dietetics that I'm going to try to create a YouTube channel with some program-focused advising that I hope will be of general interest to anyone who's applying for dietetic internship. I'm starting with the personal statement, and I'm dividing it because it's such an important part of the application. I'm dividing it into several short videos. It is indeed 1,000 words, and really the purpose of this personal statement is to set yourself apart from other applicants, keeping in mind that in our world in dietetics, most applicants have taken similar coursework, most have had similar kinds of work experiences, and many have similar things that have inspired them to become dietitians. So finding ways to express yourself in a unique fashion is really important in this personal statement. It is really your formal introduction to the programs that you're applying to, and it really does establish your first impression and can make or break your application. It must set you apart from other applicants, and it really must also capture the interest of the person who's reading it. The goal of this part of the application is to get an interview and ultimately get ranked and hopefully matched by programs that do interviews, or simply to get ranked and matched in a program that may not do an interview. The writing in this personal statement should be concise, and it should also be interesting. Shouldn't be like a research paper. Not that research can't be interesting. It also should not just be a copy or a repeat of your resume or other information that's on your application. Consider and selectively feature parts of your application as you answer the questions that are asked for the personal statement. The key is to differentiate yourself from others. It really is a way to highlight your professional development. So this includes not only the jobs that you've had and the volunteer work that you've done and the degrees that you've earned or the classes that you've taken, but how have each or all of those things prepared you professionally? And we'll get into more of that again as we go along. It should also represent your very best written communication. So you need to have numerous people look at it, spell check it, proofread it, check for grammar, check for punctuation, check for spelling. And the more readers and eyes you can get on your personal statement, the better it'll be for you. It absolutely must be truthful. This is not the place to exaggerate. This is not the place to express things that aren't true. It must be an honest expression of who you are. And it's not a form letter. It's not something where you're just filling in the blanks. Even though you're all answering the same questions for most programs, how you answer them should be an expression of your unique experience and personality and readiness. Again, it's 1,000 words in most instances. There are a few programs that don't set a word limit and a few programs that want something shorter. For the most part, programs will not count the words. So I have told my students in the past that if you have 1,005 words, it'll still be considered. Don't make it too much shorter than 1,000 words, or I'm afraid you won't be able to express all the things that are needed to answer all of the questions. It's very important that you actually answer the questions that are asked. And most programs use the 5 questions that are presented in DICAS, but some ask their own. So it's very important to review each program's website to be sure that they advise either to answer the DICAS questions, or perhaps they'll give you a list of questions. Some programs also have a supplemental application, and so it's very important that you answer the questions in the supplemental application, and then in your personal statement, if assuming that they want both, that you elaborate on different topic areas. This again actually gives you additional space to express your uniqueness with more words. And so don't duplicate. Don't say the same thing in a supplemental application that you might be saying in your personal statement. These are the questions that are listed in DICAS. Why do you want to enter the dietetics profession? Discuss experiences that have helped to prepare you for your career. Short and long-term goals. What are your strengths and weaknesses or areas needing improvement? And what other information do you consider important for the selection decision? In the next video, we'll discuss each of the questions in much more in depth. In the meantime, don't worry about the word count. Spend some time reflecting on your journey to this point. Ask others, friends, roommates, siblings, parents, instructors, about your strengths and weaknesses in addition to your own reflection. And then start an outline or a bulleted list with your ideas related to each question. Get as much down on paper or in a document file as you can. Sometimes that's the hardest place to start, and knowing that you can just brainstorm is the best way to do it. You don't have to write it out perfectly. Just get your ideas out on paper. Thank you for now. That's our first introduction. I'm going to follow with the first question as soon as I'm able to get it recorded and uploaded. Thanks so much.